he comes, here he comes. There's the trumpets, there's the drums, here he comes. Hop along, Cassidy, here he comes.
Abre tu balcón, princesa de mi amor, que es tu trovador que canta su canción. Implorando estoy de ojos a tus pies, que calmes este cruel dolor que me hace fallecer. Mi bien, tuyo soy, no dudes llamar. Mi pecho será tu solo ideal. Mi bien, tuyo soy, no dudes llamar. Y nadie podrá despojarte jamás. Abre tu balcón, princesa de mi amor, es tu trovador que canta su canción. Implorando estoy de hinojos a tus pies, que calmes este cruel dolor que me hace fallecer.
That gal can dance.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
I suppose you could do better.
Say, I wasn't bad at anything when I was a yearling.
Can you remember that far back?
Yes, sir, I can remember. Say, are you trying to insinuate that I'm old?
Oh, of course you're not old. You just let your joints creak so people think you're playing castanets.
That's so. I can take care of young mavericks like you anytime you need it. Well, hello, Miss Adriani.
Buenas noches, Senor Wendy.
I ain't seen you for a coon's age. I swear you're getting prettier every day. You know, I was sitting here watching you dance. Nope. No, all right. Miss Adriani, this here's Johnny Nelson. He's all right. Keep tight rein on him.
Usted are a mucho pretty señorita, señorita.
What's the matter, Ranger? Don't you speak English? Will you take me to get a glass of wine, Senor Wendy?
Will I? You're darn tootin'. One side, Ranger.
A toast to the gentleman from across the border, senor. To you and to your country, my American friends,
And here's to you and your country, Colonel Gonzalez.
May it ever be so.
He looks like a nice boy, this Johnny.
That's it. He's one of the best. Well, why shouldn't he be? I practically raised him by hand.
Espero habrá pasado un tiempo muy contento, tanta señorita bonita, el baile, ¿no?
Sí, quiere decir que si le gustan las muchachas, la comida, el baile, todo esto, ¿qué no?
Sí.
Well, I tell you, you see, I don't know whether I can or not on account of I'm not going to be around here very long. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going away tomorrow morning. See? See?
Vamos.
Hey.
¿Qué pasa, Pancho?
Los hombres del zorro pasaron la frontera y se llevaron todas las provisiones, señor.
¿Las provisiones?
Sí, señor, y mataron 4 o 5.
Oh, madre mía.
What's the trouble, senor?
The men of the Fox are riding this side of the border again, senor. This time is my supply train. My rancho is the third one that has been robbed within a month. Nothing close to the border is safe any longer.
Only last week they raided another pack train from the silver mine.
Is there nothing your country can do to help capture this fox?
You've got no more kick coming than we have. We're getting the same thing from him on our side of the border. If your government continues doing nothing, maybe we ourselves will find it necessary to ride north. If you're figuring on crossing the border and looking for trouble...
Gentlemen, gentlemen, is the friendship between our peoples to be broken by the acts of the fox?
Well, it looks like that's just what's going to happen one of these days.
I apologize for my people, senor. But you understand, they have suffered much at the hands of the fox.
I can't say that I blame you all for getting head up.
Something must be done, my friends. It's too bad if one man were to be the cause of bad blood between us of the border.
I wish they'd give me 3 or 4 rangers and let me have a try at finding...
You? We've had the whole ranger force here twice. I wish Hopalong Cassidy was in this part of the country. Me and him would round up the fox in jig time.
Who is the elderly gentleman talking to the ranger?
That's Windy Halliday. He works on a ranch just north of the border.
Pardon me, gentlemen. Do I understand that you know this Mr. Hopalong Cassidy?
He wants to know why no Hoppy.
Why, sure you know him. Yeah. You've known him all his life. You've taught him every darn thing he knows.
Then perhaps you can tell me where this Mr. Cassidy can be found.
Sure. Well, he's handling a roundup down the Pecos country.
I happen to be a friend of Hoppy, sir. If you have a message for him, I can take it. He's near our headquarters, and I'm going over there tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Senor Ranger. But there is no message. I was merely interested in the name. Gentlemen, I believe there is a solution to the problem of the fox.
We're with you. Let's hear it.
There is nothing to be discussed yet. Senor, I will want my horses early in the morning.
What? Are you leaving, senor?
See, I ride north to talk to my friend, Major Stafford, of the Rangers.
Yes, I agree with you, Colonel. Something has got to be done before there's trouble on the border. I must admit that this fox has got me stumped. Why, twice we've rounded up his gang.
I know, but still the fox continues with his work.
Yeah. Well, how am I going to round up a man when I don't even know who he is?
You've never admitted defeat before, my friend.
Well, that's all right. I'm not admitting it now. It's just that I don't like the idea of mixing Cassidy up in this business.
It's the only card you have left to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right at that, Colonel.
So I says to this little hot tamale, I think you are mucho pretty, senorita. And what do you think her comeback was? She says, what's the matter, Ranger? Don't you speak English? There was a fat one there I was going to bring back for you, Bailey.
Should have kept it yourself.
Ah! Nelson, Bailey, I want you to go out to Bar K Ranch and arrest the foreman. I have some questions I want to ask him.
Oh, I guess I must have heard you wrong, Major. The foreman at the Bar K is...
Hop along, Cassidy, I know.
You mean you want me to arrest Hoppy?
Exactly.
I'd rather you picked someone else for the job, Major. You see, Cassidy and I...
No, I'm not interested in hearing about your personal history or about your friendship with Cassidy. I gave you an order, Nelson. Carry it out.
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. Easy now. All right, swing her open and let him buck.
Come on, get out of him, Hoppy! That's it, Roddy, Hoppy! Don't let him get you, that's it! That's it, ride it out of him, Hoppy! You got him, Rod! That's it, Hoppy, ride him out of him! Come on, you got him, out of him, Hoppy! That's it, ride him, Hoppy! Don't let him get you out! You got him! Come on, you got him! Take him out of there! That's it, Hoppy!
All right, boys, turn him loose. Hi, Johnny. When'd you get back in this part of the country?
This morning.
Hello, Bailey. Pull up a chair and watch a real buckaroo handle a bronc. Hey, did you eat something that ain't setting well?
Hoppy, you know, you always told me when a man had a job to do, he did it.
And it still goes.
That's what makes it so tough.
What's the matter with you? You know, if you're in trouble, I'm ready and willing to back you up.
I'd rather take a beating, Hoppy, than do what I gotta do. But I'm up against it.
What are you trying to say?
I'm arresting you, Hoppy.
Arrested me? For what?
I don't know.
You've been eating Loco weed, I think.
You're trying to be funny, Nelson. You're not making us laugh.
No joke, man. It's Major Stafford's orders.
If Major Stafford wants to see me, tell him I said to come out here.
You know how I feel about it, Hoppy. But it's my job to bring you in, and I gotta do it.
All right, Johnny. We'll soon get this straightened out.
Hoppy.
Yeah?
Your guns. Do you mind turning them over?
You know, I'm pretty crazy about these, Johnny. But I guess you'll take care of them till we get this thing straightened out. I'll get my horse. Be back in a little while, Frank.
Come in. All right, boys, you can go.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry I had to send for you like this, Hoppy, but I thought it was the best way to handle things.
Say, what is this? Has the whole ranger service gone loco? What's going on?
You'll find out soon enough. Oh, Hoppy, I want you to meet Colonel Gonzalez of the Mexican Secret Service.
How are you, Colonel? I've heard about you.
And I've heard about you, Mr. Cassidy. Many fine things.
Thanks.
Oh, sit down, Hoppy. Hoppy, we're up against it. The Fox and a new gang of his are working down around El Rio. They're raiding below the border again.
So I've heard. El Rio used to be my home range.
Yes, I know. That's the reason I wanted you for this job. You know the country down there, you see, and the people.
Meaning you want me to bring back the Fox?
Exactly. I want his gangs broken up once and for all.
Well, anything I can do, count me in. But I still want to know why I was brought in under arrest.
Mr. Cassidy, you have a reputation of being decent, upright, and only square.
Well, I'm glad folks feel that way about me.
But, as such a man, you can be of no use to us.
Hoppy, I'm going to ask you to do the biggest thing you've ever done in your life. Now, you can take it or leave it. I know how much your reputation means to you, but I'm asking you to throw it away. I'm asking you to make yourself despised, hated by everybody, even your best friends.
You're asking quite a lot, ain't you?
I know it. More than I have the right to ask any man. But I have no choice, Hoppy. We're at the end of our rope, and we have got to fight fire with fire.
How are you aiming to have me go about things?
I want you to go down to El Rio, a discredited, dishonorable man, one who has double-crossed his friends. The rest I leave to your own judgment.
I don't like to refuse, Major, but...
I know how you feel, senor. But something must be done. Otherwise, all the good work you helped do in bringing about friendship between my people and yours will be undone.
Let's just drop it all, Hoppy. I'm sorry that I asked you to do it in the first place. I shouldn't have. I'll go out and tell the boys that arrest was just a joke.
You're not telling them anything. How and when do we get started?
I'll tell you what you do. You make a break out through the squad room. Now, if anybody stops us to talk to us, you let me do all the talking. You understand, don't you, Hoppy, that nobody is to know anything about this? Not a soul. Until we catch the Fox? Hoppy, we're playing our last card.
I'm taking the job, ain't I?
Good luck, Mr. Cassidy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. Just a minute, Cassidy. Do you think that you can get away with evading my questions?
Well, I'm doing it, ain't I?
I'll give you one more chance to clear yourself. That is, if you can.
I've got nothing to say.
Then I'll say it for you. I have definite information that you've been acting as a go-between for buyers of stolen cattle and rustlers. And you can't deny it.
There ain't no law says I have to ask folks where they got the cattle they're selling.
Now, of course, Hopalong Cassidy would be smart enough to protect himself on his end of the deal. But those cattle were stolen, and you know it.
I ain't admitting nothing. So what are you gonna do about it?
Just this. When we made you an honorary lieutenant in the Rangers, Cassidy, we thought you were a man. Now, there's an old saying that when a good sheepdog turns killer, he's the worst of the lot. You had us all fooled, all right, but any man who will use the respect of his friends to cover up his underhand work isn't fit to associate with white men. Now, I'm giving you until sundown to get out of this district, Cassidy. You get going and keep going.
Why don't you talk to the Major, Hoppy? You can explain it's all a mistake.
Why should I?
Well, you gotta do something to square yourself.
Why don't you try minding your own business once in a while? How about giving me back my guns?
You ain't got much time till sundown, Cassidy. Better get going.
I know how you feel about it, son. But quitting the service isn't going to help none. You better stick here for a while. You know, we've got to give Cassidy a chance to straighten himself out. You see?
Yes, sir.
I feel sorry for that boy. He loves Cassidy like a brother.
You know, since he believes what he heard, it might be a good idea to send him down to El Rio on duty.
Yeah. Hey, it might be at that. Then Cassidy would have a friend to back him up in case of trouble.
Hey, Wendy, did you know that Hopalong Cassidy's headed for El Rio?
Why, the ornery galoot. Why didn't you tell me first? Always did afore.
It ain't likely Cassidy wants to see any of his old friends after being found out for what he is.
It wasn't Sam Hill you talking about.
Here, look at this.
Yeah. Maybe you better read it for me. I forgot my specs.
The editor is informed that Hopalong Cassidy is headed in the direction of El Rio. This paper hereby takes upon itself the duty of advising the said Cassidy that we have no use for his kind in our city. A man who would act as a go-between for rustlers is worse than the rustlers themselves.
Why, that dirty, ink-slinging caterwampus. I'm riding to make him eat them words. Yeah, and the paper's writ on, too.
That's Cassidy, the one they're all talking about.
Took a lot of nerve for him to come back to his home range after what he'd done.
Had an idea you were headed this way, Cassidy.
I got a right to, ain't I? It's my home range. suppose you're getting all set to tell me how disappointed you are in me. Like everybody else. Well, you can save your sermon.
See here, Cassidy. If you want to stay around El Rio, I advise you to watch your step.
I ain't needing your advice.
Well, I'm just warning you.
I'm not interested in your warning.
Hello, Hoppy.
Howdy. You don't mind serving me a drink, do you?
Why, we serve anybody as long as they pay for it. Say, it's too bad about that trouble you got into.
What's so bad about it? I can still take care of myself.
Huh. You got caught up with, didn't you?
Well, if I did, I kept out of jail. I'm still roaming around, ain't I? Who's the man with all the mouth?
It's Tom Parker. He's got a ranch out of town. He don't like to have folks ask questions about him.
He's already told me all I want to know about him.
I don't think I'm going to like you, Mr. Cassidy.
That makes it practically unanimous. You got any more you want to say on the subject?
I might have one of these days.
I'll be around. What's he trying to do?
It's only Loco. He hasn't got all his machinery.
Kind of dangerous letting people like that carry firearms, especially around kids.
Oh, it's only blanks that he's shooting. Folks give them to the fool so they can have fun with him. Watch. Hey, Loco, come here. Loco, this is Hopalong Cassidy. He's a pretty tough guy, too.
If you think you're tougher than I am, we'll shoot it out. Draw!
You don't have to draw. I'll admit you're the best man.
In that case, shake.
Are you the Mr. Hopalong Cassidy Mr. Wendy is always telling me about?
What about it?
You look just like Mr. Wendy said you did. Big and strong. He's always telling me how you can ride better and fight better than anybody else, and you're so nice and everything. He says if they'd turn you and him loose, you'd...
Why don't you shut your little mouth and go home?
What did I do?
Nothing. Only I don't like kids. Now go on.
Hey, Hoppy! What's the matter, Hoppy? Somebody been saying something about this writing? You show 'em to me and I'll...
Everybody says too much.
Oh, I don't believe a word I heard. And I can whip the daylights out of the polecat that thinks different.
Am I gonna have to take a lot of guff from you, too? Now get this straight. I don't want any sympathy from you or anybody else.
Well, old blowhard, all that big talk about you being such great pals with Hopalong Cassidy was just a lot of wind.
Yeah? Well, nobody asked you to horn in. Get up out of there, you ornery maverick, and I'll knock you down again. I knowed everybody was wrong about you, Hoppy, and I knowed you'd back me up if it come to a showdown.
Dry up, you loud-mouthed old idiot. I'm not backing up anybody. I'm just proving that I don't need anybody fighting my battles for me.
Hoppy.
Oh, I'm tired of this palavering. Come on, I'm buying the drinks.
You gonna buy Loco a drink, too?
Sure, anybody that wants one. Come on.
Now, there ain't no need to cry, Molly. Why, you didn't hurt me. Come on. Old Windy will take you home to your ma.
Mr. Windy, are you sure that's right, Mr. Cassidy? The one you told me about?
Well, I ain't none too sure at that. Man and boy have known Hoppy nigh on all his life. Can't figure it out. I reckon I better hang around town and kind of keep an eye on him. I got a job of reforming to do.
Reforming? What's that?
Don't you worry your little head about that. There's something I got to do.
Figure on sticking around El Rio for a while, Hoppy?
Why not? One place is just as good as another.
Ain't very many jobs laying around.
I know what you're thinking. But who said anything about wanting a job? I don't figure I'll have any trouble picking up enough money to live on.
Can Loco have another drink? I like you, Mr. Cassidy. If there's anybody you want put away, you just leave them to me. I'm looking out for you from now on. If you want anything, just look around, and there I'll be.
I wish you had sense enough so as I could make you understand that I just want to be left alone.
That's Cassidy buying the drinks. Hey, I have a notion to have it out with him here and now.
I wouldn't if I was you. The Fox is dead set against anybody doing anything without his orders. And I kind of think he's going to take a personal interest in Mr. Cassidy.
You all set?
Wait a minute, Tom. The chief's orders were to get them front and back while they're crossing the creek bed.
We can do it just as easy here and save a lot of time.
That wasn't the Fox's orders.
When we're riding, I'm giving the orders. Come on.
Good morning, Mr. Cassidy.
Morning.
Did you sleep well? Was everything all right? I mean, your room and all.
Yeah. Only things could be a little cleaner.
Well, if you don't like my house, there's nothing to keep you from moving.
And I would if I could find a place to get another room.
Yo voy a buscar un nuevo amor. Voy a buscar un fiel amante que sea constante como yo.
Muchas gracias, señor.
May I play for you, senor?
Kind of early in the morning for music, ain't it?
It is never too early, senor, when it is one's work.
All right, Colonel, let's hear what you've got to say.
You are indeed quick of eye, my friend. Ya yo me voy, para donde iré. I have men to take your orders when you are ready to act. Voy a buscar un nuevo amor. The men of the Fox rode again below the border last night. Voy a buscar.
Thanks, I'll be riding down that way to take a look around.
Que sea constante como yo.
All right. I'll hear the rest of that music later.
Muchas gracias, senor.
Ya yo me voy.
It's all right. It's the Fox.
What do you mean by exposing yourself on the trail, Parker? You know there are safer ways to reach the caves.
We were late in getting away, and I wanted to make time.
There were supposed to be 12 burros in the Garcia mine pack train. Where are the other 8?
There was a little slip-up. The Mexicans drove us off and got away with the rest.
Where are your other 3 men?
The Mexicans got them.
If my orders had been obeyed to the letter, there would have been no slip-up. And I do not condone disobedience. Get that off the trail. Morgan, you're in command of the outside work from now on. I believe I can be sure there will be no further disobedience of my orders from any of you. Take that ore to the caves. And when you come in town, come in one at a time.
Get started, man. See you later, Chief.
Wait. I want you to contact Cassidy. Tell him if he really knows where he can get a good price for stolen cattle, you can show him how to make some real money.
You know your own business, Chief. But somehow I don't trust Cassidy.
Neither do I. Altogether. However, if Cassidy's what he's supposed to be, he'll be valuable to us. And if he isn't, he'll be easier to take care of if he's where we can keep an eye on him.
You're the boss.
See that the stuff is stowed away. I'm going in town.
I'll be in later.
Oh, Wendy,
Yes.
come here. Slip into this.
Huh?
I've got to shorten it. I just want to make sure the bottom's straight.
Oh, ain't there some other way you can do it, ma'am?
Oh, don't be silly. It won't hurt you.
Oh.
Oh, come on, my goodness. No help to me at all around here.
Well, I ain't working around here.
Well, you are now.
Oh, see here now.
Oh, stop your grumbling.
Darn persnickety women.
You look funny, Mr. Windy.
Well, you don't have to tell me. I know it.
Will you stand still?
Well, Loco's making me do it. He's looking at me like he wants to laugh.
Well, don't pay any attention to the crazy fool.
Maybe he ain't so crazy after all.
Now, don't you dare move. I've got to get some more pins.
Hi there, Johnny. What are you doing back in this part of the country?
I've been assigned down here on duty.
Everything happens to me, as if I didn't have enough on my hands. Now I suppose I got a right herd on you, too.
Oh. Well, you would sure look pretty riding herd in a side saddle. You know what beats me, Windy, is how you can keep up to the minute on styles way down here in the border.
Why, you young mugwump.
Hello, Johnny.
Howdy, ma'am. I was just admiring your new housemate.
Now, you leave him alone.
Don't you think, ma'am, if she wore a veil with that outfit, she'd look better?
I'll veil you. Another crack out of you and there'd be one less ranger in the service.
If it wasn't that a gentleman ain't allowed to hit a lady, I'd make you eat them words.
Oh, yeah?
Hello, Mr. Hopalong.
Hello. Give me some meat.
Mother has a new dress.
Yeah?
Doesn't she look pretty?
Yeah, she looks all right.
Pass me a plate, man.
We missed you at dinner this noon, Mr. Cassidy.
Well, in case you was worried, I rode over to the bar 20 to collect some money.
Hoppy. You didn't ask Buck for that money.
Why not? I had it coming to me, didn't I?
Yeah, but after all the hard luck he's had this year, needs every dollar he can get a hold of to restock his range.
That's his hard luck, not mine.
Hello, Hoppy.
Hello. I suppose they sent you down here to keep your eye on me.
Oh, what's got into you anyway, Hoppy?
Nothing. Just that I don't like anybody trailing me. Ranger or no ranger.
I wasn't sent down here to trail you, Cassidy. And I ain't having no further interest in you as long as you watch your step.
Suppose I don't.
I'll have to go after you. Same as I would anybody else.
Just a little warning, Ranger. Doing that mightn't be so healthy for you.
I'll take that chance.
You're talking kind of big, ain't you? Figure you can hide behind that badge you're wearing?
I've taken about enough from you. Oh, I'm sorry, Hoppy. Let's call it quits.
Sure, we'll call it quits. When I've evened things up with you.
From what I heard about you, Cassidy, I never figured you'd let the Ranger get away with that.
There's ways of doing things without sticking your head in a noose.
You shouldn't talk that way, Mr. Cassidy. Why, you and Johnny used to be such good friends. Oh, you mustn't let it get you. Anybody can make mistakes. But just because you made one, there's no reason why you should go on making more.
Can a man even eat around here without having to listen to a sermon?
Don't be mad at Johnny, Mr. Cassidy. And don't be mad at Mother. She won't scold you no more.
All right, I won't be mad.
You know, Mr. Cassidy, Mother always tells me if I try real hard, I won't get into any trouble. Why don't you do that?
Do what?
Try real hard not to get into trouble. Sometimes it works, even with me. Will you?
So you want me to reform, huh?
Mm-hmm. What's reform mean?
Oh, I guess it's just sort of doing things that other people think you should do.
Will you do that?
Yeah, I'll try it.
I know you would. I'm going in to tell Mr. Winnie you have reformed.
Oh, no, don't tell anybody now. We better keep it
Why?
a secret.
Why?
Well, people can't reform all of a sudden.
Why?
Well, it's kind of hard on the nervous system. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Why?
You never mind why. You just keep it a secret.
Where are you going?
Down to the bar.
Can Loco have a drink?
Yeah. Well, what do you want me to do? Bring it to you?
No. I'll come along and get it.
Another bottle. Give me another glass.
Eres mi vida, mi corazón ha esperado por años. Eres mi hambre, eres mi querida, ha dejado mi vida.
I'd like to have a little talk with you, Cassidy.
Well, what's stopping you?
Go on, Loco, get moving.
Ain't nobody chasing me. I'm looking out for Mr.
I said get moving. My partner Parker got killed this morning, Cassidy.
That's too bad.
I figure I need a little help from now on.
That's a proposition I might be for hire, if there's enough in it.
I heard you know some cattle buyers that ain't too particular about brands or where the cattle come from.
Suppose I do. What about it?
Think they'd be interested in a fine herd? Say about 1,000 head?
Maybe, if the price is right.
Just where do I get in touch with them?
I didn't ask you where the herd is, did I?
You'll do all right, Cassidy. How will I get together with these buyers?
I'll get word to them to meet you halfway between here and the Panhandle. Then nobody's taking any chances.
Suits me. Just tell me when to get the herd started.
Oh, about 2 or 3 days.
Whenever you say.
Hello, Loco. Want to play horse?
Don't feel like playing.
What's the matter?
Ain't nobody but Loco a drink. All day. Maybe Mr. Hopalong will. Is he around?
Yes, he's in his room, but he said he was going to take a nap. Why, Johnny, are you leaving?
Oh, no, ma'am. I'm just taking a ride out in the country on business.
Where are you heading for, kid?
Down across the border. I gotta get a description of some of that stuff the Fox's men stole the other day.
Kind of late in getting started. Ain't you afraid you get lost in the dark before you get back?
Well, if I was sure I wasn't going to see that funny face of yours anymore, I might get lost on purpose.
Some of these days, young fellas, something's going to happen to you, and I'm going to be the happener.
Got a match for Loco?
Yeah, I guess so. Look out you don't burn yourself, Loco.
Johnny, oh, please listen to me. You gotta fight. You gotta hang on till I get you into town.
Never mind, Wendy. I'll get it.
Wendy, it's Johnny. He's hurt. Get him in the house. I'll go for a doctor.
Give me a beer. Did you hear the news? The ranger got shot up and the doctor don't think he's gonna live.
Hey, Hoppy, did you hear that? Somebody got Johnny Nelson, and he's in a pretty bad way.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Bust out crying? I'm open for $10.
Me too.
Looking better this morning, Johnny.
Is he going to be all right, Doc?
With enough rest and care, why, he'll be as good as new in no time.
See, that proves the old saying, the good die young.
But you've got to take it easy for a while, son. You had a pretty close call. If you hadn't had sense enough to use your scarf for a bandage, why, you might have bled to death. What puzzles me is how he ever made it here alone. Must have been sheer instinct. Well, I'll drop in this evening.
Goodbye, Doc. So long, Doc. How did it happen, son?
Well, you know as much about it as I do. All I know is someone got me, and the next thing I know, I was here in bed. Say, Wendy, has Hoppy been asking about me?
Why, I guess he ain't heard nothing about it yet. Or maybe he's been pretty busy.
Oh, you ain't fooling either of us, Wendy. He's just let us down, that's all. I can't figure it out. I guess we both must have been seeing something in him that just wasn't there.
Oh, it was there, all right.
Then what made him turn?
Oh, I don't know, Johnny. Maybe it's because he got tired of doing things for the other fella. Always giving. Made up his mind to do something for himself for a change.
doggone if I see how you tear them papers like that. Let's see it.
Sure.
Well, I still don't see how it's done. You seen anything of Morgan?
Don't like Morgan.
I didn't ask you if you liked him. I asked you if you saw him.
Saw him at the bar.
No, Loco's not coming. I got some important business to talk over with Morgan. I'll bring you something when I come back.
Nobody won't let Loco go no place.
Got something to say to you, Morgan. Private.
Go ahead and talk. Bud's one of the outfit.
Give me a hand. Say, I've just been thinking. How do I know I'm going to get my cut when them cattle are sold?
Don't worry. You'll get your share.
I'm not worried. I want to be right on hand when the money's turned over.
You don't take any chances, do you, Cassidy?
Not if I can help it. Pay it.
All of you.
That's why I'm not riding with the trail herd unless I know who the men are that are riding with me. Give me 2.
2 to me. Well, you won't have to bother about that. These men have all worked for me before.
It's all right with me. You better have them come in town right away. I want to hear you tell them that I'm boss on this herd.
Bet, Tell the boys to get in town right away. When do you figure on getting started?
First thing in the morning. I'm going over now to check on supplies.
I'll let you know as soon as the boys get here.
I'll be close around. We're ready to start the work, Colonel. How soon can you get your men in?
I can have 25 men here in as many minutes, senor.
Get started.
At once, senor.
Why, Molly, Johnny's all right. Why, blame near had clunk him on the head, keep him in bed.
Why won't Mr. Hopalong come to see him?
Why, what's getting into you, Molly?
I heard you and Mr. Johnny talking. I guess Mr. Hopalong isn't going to reform like he promised he would after all. Please, Uncle Wendy. Ain't there something we can do about it?
Now listen, Molly. Hoppy knows what he's doing. Look, if you promise you won't tell nobody, I'll let you in on a secret.
I promise.
All right. Now, Mr. Hoppy's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with him at all. You see, he's playing a game. Yeah, that's it. He's playing a game. He's got something up his sleeve. I know.
You mean he's just pretending?
Yeah, that's it. You'll find out. You wait and see. Well, guess I'll run out the ranch. I'll be back soon as I can.
Give me an hour's start. Get Cassidy right out of the cabin with you. There's a little matter I want to take up with him.
What's up? Did you find out something about him?
I'm afraid I have. Something unpleasant. I want to know more.
You be good girl now, and I'll be back in 2 jerks of a lamb's tail.
Hey, Wendy!
Eh?
Hey, I just remembered. Cassidy said he had something to tell you.
Well, what is it? What is it?
Yeah. He says he wants to see you right away. He's got something important to tell you. You too, Molly.
See? What did I tell you about Hoppy? Where is he?
Out in the South Desert Road a piece. You want me to show you where?
Of course I do, you dumb galoot. Climb in there.
Where are you taking Molly, Wendy?
Out the South Desert Road a piece. Cassidy sent for us.
Cassidy?
That's what I said.
Well, don't be gone too long.
He says to get a move on.
Get moving, you wall-eyed jughead. Cassidy's waiting.
I thought you were out on the South Desert Road.
Me?
Why, yes. Wendy took Molly out there to meet you. Said you'd sent for them.
Who gave Wendy that message?
Well, I don't know.
Was Loco with them when they left here?
Yes, why?
And they headed out the South Desert Road?
Why, yes, not more than 10 minutes ago.
Watch for that Mexican street singer that's been around town the last few days. That's Colonel Gonzalez. When he comes, tell him to follow me to the cabin at the head of Cloudburst Canyon. And tell him to ride fast.
Well, is Molly in danger?
Molly will be all right.
What's the matter, ma'am?
Oh, I wish I knew. Cassidy's riding after Loco, and I'm afraid something's going to happen to Molly.
Something's going wrong, boys. Cassidy's heading out after the chief. We got to stop him. Come on, all of us. Come on, let's go.
Grace? Grace? Steady.
Mr. Cassidy says to follow him to the cabin at the head of Cloudburst Canyon. And hurry, please.
Vámonos!
What's all the excitement down on the street? I thought I heard a lot of horses.
It's Colonel Gonzalez and his charros. Cassidy sent for them.
Cassidy?
Yes, Johnny, and I'm so worried. Molly and Wendy are out there, too.
Cassidy sent for Gonzalez?
Yes, they're riding out to Cloudburst Canyon to help him.
Help him?
Yes.
Saddle my horse, quick.
Where are you going?
I'm riding out to Cloudburst Canyon. You said Cassidy needed help, didn't you? Hurry up!
Run away, you crazy fool.
Unfortunately for you, I'm quite sane. Whip up those horses. Whip them up, I said. Get down. Inside. You better stop right where you are, Mr. Cassidy.
Come out of there, Loco. I'm giving you a chance to surrender.
You're not in a position to dictate, Mr. Cassidy. Drop your guns and come into the cabin with your hands in the air.
You'll wait a long time for that.
I think not. You see, I understand the situation. If I'm captured, I hang. And I much prefer a more spectacular death, such as blowing myself up with dynamite, for instance. And that would be most unfortunate for Windy and your little friend Molly. Windy, would you mind verifying my statement to Mr. Cassidy?
He's telling the truth, Hoppy. He's got a bunch of dynamite and a short fuse.
All right. If I do what you say, will you turn Windy and Molly loose?
That is exactly what I planned on doing.
You win.
You can start back to town. Walking.
Hoppy. Windy. Get her out of here.
Aren't you coming with us, Mr. Cassidy?
No, my dear. Mr. Cassidy has some business. Here, with me. And then he's going on a long, long journey.
But aren't you coming back to the house at all?
I guess I ain't, honey.
Goodbye, Mr. Hopalong.
Goodbye, Molly.
I'm sorry if I scolded you and said mean things.
It's all right. Just forget it. Windy.
Oh, Hoppy, I can't go. I gotta stick it out with you.
You heard me. Now get moving.
No use looking for help in that direction. By the time Windy gets back to town, the career of Mr. Hopalong Cassidy will be ended.
Well, it's your move.
There's one thing I'd like to know before I finish you, Cassidy. You see, I never want to make the same mistake twice. What first gave you the idea that I might be the fox?
I had an idea there was something wrong the first time I saw you use your left hand instead of your right to pour a drink.
I never thought of that. It was stupid of me.
And when I noticed your left holster hung lower than your right, I kind of figured that one of your guns was carrying lead.
Very clever of you. Too bad you didn't have an opportunity to verify your suspicions before this happened.
But I did. This morning when you were washing up for breakfast. That's why I reloaded the left gun with blanks. Sit down. Put both your hands on that table.
Tricked me very cleverly, Mr. Cassidy. But it won't do any good. You're done for.
I wouldn't gamble too much on that if I was you. Sit still. I don't like the idea of having to shoot an unarmed man. Get on your feet. Let's get started.
Hoppy, you're hurt. Bad.
It's all in the game, Johnny. See that the Major gets the fox. I'd deliver him myself, but I'm just a little tired.
Just a moment, senor.
Gosh, Hoppy, you gotta hang on until I can get you back to town.
You held on for me, Johnny, till I got you back to town. I guess I can do it for you.
Oh, Hoppy. I kind of figured it was you all along.
Come on, let's go.
No dudes ya más y nadie podrá despojarte jamás. Abre tu balcón, princesa de mi amor, es tu trovador que canta su canción. Implorando estoy de hinojos a tus pies, que calmes este cruel dolor que me hace falta.